So practically, this was how not to fly any formation phase of flying, or how not to do these things on an air show specifically. This would be a textbook material to teach students what not to do during the formation phase of flying. So this is Sabir Shah for my channel Aviation Cadet 9936, and today I will talk about the midair collision at Mount Holm Air Base, Idaho, the US. When people fly formations, they are told specific things what not to do. Now, you can expect that from a schoolboy, for example, a very newly recruited cadet or the officer who just started flying formation. Probably in order to understand the limitations of the aircraft, that person could perform these kind of blunders, but not from someone who has flown over 1,000 hours for the specific things. Why I'm saying that? Because the requirement to be part of EA-18G Growler aircraft acrobatic team, the requirement is huge, at least 1,000 hours while being a trainer, not even being a student. So all these professionals who were flying these aircrafts were actually the instructor pilots, not the students. In this video, I will cover up all the things, so I will start from the beginning. This aircraft is a beautiful aircraft, as Trump says, but beautiful aircraft got shot down in the body of F-18 Hornet. This one is the electronic warfare attacker, you could say, and it has taken part in the Venezuelan action, which the U.S. did just recently, and also in the recent Iran, the U.S. conflict. So a very active role in combat areas. So there's no question about the efficiency of this aircraft, wonderful aircraft. Now, who were the people flying this one? So I got to know the information from their Instagram account. They have their whole own, Instagram page where they update and upload their latest information. So they belong to VAQ 129, the Vikings squadron of the USAF, US Navy. And recently they have started to do the parades and joining the air shows. Previously, since 2021 onwards, they were just escorting the World War II aircrafts.
The formational fly pass show center from the right to left. Legacy photo pads.
The Legacy Parade, they call it. So they were part of that one, but later on they went into the high G maneuvering as well. So this is their history. In this case, there were 4 pilots assigned to fly these shows. They're going to have the 4 shows, and this year this was the first one, probably the last one. And the VISOs, or the EWOs in this case, the electronic warfare officers, they were also very professional, and everyone had over 1,000 hours as being instructors. So this is the whole background of this. Now, as most of my viewers are gonna join ISSB, the pre-selection center, to be a fighter pilot in Pakistan Air Force. So for you guys, probably you'll play the Sherdils, the only acrobatic team of Pakistan Air Force, which is not a designated acrobatic team. It's like the team is there, the aircrafts are there, and people change. So every time you see it on 23rd of March or August 14th or the Yom Zaya in September, you see the same aircraft, same maneuvers, but you see different people sitting inside. The reason being, Pakistan cannot afford, not in a sense that we don't have money to, have an acrobatic team. The thing is that we are so busy with at least 3 hostile countries on our neighbors that our pilots do not have time to, give full time to the acrobatic team. So this Sherdale's acrobatic team is a what you call the temporary. Any officer could have different kinds of things going on in the squadron and stuff like that. So most of the times, the officers willing to join the fighter instructor school, they join Sherdales, and they don't stay for a very long time. It's just like you could say the suspension period time is also spent, so it's part time. It's like recreational, but everyone becomes proud of the Sherdale team, of course, because we were doing it for the nation, showing them what Pakistan Air Force is capable of, and that's the only time, or apart from the war, that's the only time when you could see the fighter jets in action, apart from the people who live near the areas where the fighter jets in Pakistan are in action. So it's not, I won't say it's not professional team, but it's not a designated team trained to be the acrobatic team members, but yet you see the results. Amazing. We didn't have any crashes. Apart from that, Pakistan Air Force has pulled one of the world's biggest stunts that back in mid 60s, when I think the Iranian or the Afghanistani king came to visit Pakistan during the Field Marshal Azur Khan time, and 16 F-Sabres in diamond formation did a loop together. So that's also one of the records Pakistan Air Force holds. While doing the acrobatics, one of the disaster happened in 2019 on 11th of March when Wing Commander Noman, he gave his life while saving the others on the ground in a high G maneuver on F-16. And that's the only casualty we have so far during the acrobatic shows, and that's very similar to the Polish aircraft and the Thunderbirds. By the way, in the same airport on this base, Mount Home base, the famous, the guy who took off and formed a loop and then ejected before hitting the ground, or right after hitting the ground. So this air show is very famous for disasters, by the way, and now the wing commander of this air base, probably the base chief, has issued that all the pilots who were involved in this special day event, whatever it was, they're all safe. By the way, I love their formation of parachutes coming down. That was one of the best parachute formations you would ever see. They're in the air. Formation was not so good, but this one was good. So, coming up to the next point, incidents happen, and as being part of the aviation family, we are not mocking at the pilots or trying to make fun of them. No, this is what happens in aviation. So, my students, my listeners, my viewers, most of them are going to join this part of the training. Keep in mind that this could happen to you on any single day. It takes like a second. In this case, it took them like 5 seconds only once he got off we'll talk about that later. Once he got off that one, and then he hit this aircraft. So this is the life which you are going to choose in the future. So losses are part of combat. Next thing comes, what were they doing during this show? So again, on their own Instagram page, they have broken down this their 17 to 20 minutes of show, and in which they do takeoff, right? And right after the takeoff, they have a split break. The lead continues to fly, and the wingman, he breaks up at the end of the runway, and then they rejoin again. And then they show different kinds of flight paths. Like one is one of the lead aircrafts is gonna cut all the gears down, flaps down, afterburners off, and get the hook, because it's a Navy aircraft, so it's gonna land on the fleet. So it shows the hook, and then they come back, and then high speed brakes and low speeds, and then how they join back. So this was the last part before going for the final landing. And once they land, they get their F-18's wings. On landing, they go up like this. So they get their wingtips up, canopy up, and say goodbye to all the audience and park their aircrafts at their respective places. So this one, the second last part, where if you see the previous videos in Illinois and I think the Abbotsford, they did the show. One video is 17 minutes long and one video is 10 minutes long. So if you see those videos, you will see before landing, the last part of the maneuvering is that they appear from the, once the audience are sitting here, the runway is in front of you. So they appear from this side, not from the right side of the audience. And then they make a parade in front of the audience, and then they break towards the right side. And that's where the wingman tries to join, taking a 270-degree turn and a climbing turn, because they have to go up to 1,000 feet. So this one's done at 500 feet AGL, and then it's a climbing 270-degree turn, and that's where this mishap has happened. I would back it up with one of the audience. She was on some of the TV shows I've seen yesterday.
We were actually watching two planes right in front of us, doing, the air show and watching them for quite a while. And then we, of course, started looking at the road, and that's when we saw that big black plume of smoke behind us. So we didn't actually see the collision happen, but we did see, the aftermath.
I don't know why she was so excited and so happy. She was saying, "Oh, we were seeing there," or she only saw the last part when the fumes came out. So, but she said that these two aircrafts were doing a lot of things in the air before this happened. So that means that it was the second last part, where in the previous shows you could see they appear from one side, they go maintaining the distance from the audience, they fly over the runway probably, and then they make a right-hand turn, and that's where this happened. So what has happened, the imperfect turn, they were not even synchronized while they were doing the parade. This is what I think, why I assume. That's why once they were doing the right-hand turn, the problem arose when they were not even synchronized in banking. I mean, the lead was giving very odd kind of banks. And of course, the wingman is going to approach up, climbing up, and then maintaining a bank of 270 degrees because he's going to be on the inner side of the circle. Initially, when they commenced this final step, second last step, the wingman is on the outer side of the turn. And once they do the parade, the wingman has to be towards the inner side of the turn and join back, rejoining. So that's how it happened. But after the parade, probably they were not synchronized. And once they commenced the right turn, the lead aircraft had weird movements, one or two, and then the lead lost the sight and hit probably its nose down on the vertical tail fin. All the tail fin got off first, and then once they got loved together, once they went up in the air, like 180 degrees up in the air, and another piece fell off. We could see very clearly. And then they went down where the top aircraft, the trailing aircraft, the wingmen, their canopy shoot out first, then the EWU or the WISO, and then the pilot flying. And then the bottom aircraft also had the canopy off, WISO out, and pilot flying out. And it happened in like, that's it. That's how long it took for them. So kudos to them for taking evasive actions right away once they knew that they had done a blunder. Now it's time to save their lives. And they did it. It went into a farmer's field. That farmer won't be happy to see that much fire. So they had to close the air base for about 4 hours. No one was allowed to go in, go out because of the wind. That thing was spreading, the fire was spreading. So it took them a long time to put that fire out. Imagine them, two of the aircrafts full of fuel and, no explosive on them, but yet, and the dry fuels under them. So perfect combination of having a fire. Anyhow, 4 visuals are same, and that was one of the most beautiful sights you could see. Not for them, of course. Obviously, they were in a panic situation, and they acted really. I mean, that was the quickest reflex action you could ever see. So, why I said in the beginning that this would be taught in schools for ages as a textbook failure of formation, because the easiest way, once you can't see your lead aircraft because of the weather, because of many things, you just pull up and go away. That's it. And for the lead too, if the lead sees that the aircraft is coming to you belly up, oh, dude, power up, break away. Because it's a matter of seconds, and that has proven. Why these aircraft plummet together? The reason being they were going in the same direction and their speeds almost matched. So it was like landing on the other aircraft. That's it. And once the ejections happened, because of the force of the top, they ejected first. So it kept these 2 aircrafts together. And once the bottom aircraft ejected, they were already in stalling conditions, so they could not have gone away from each other. So that's why they went down together. One of the most rare and weirdest things to be seen in any air show. You've seen multiple crashes, multiple incidents like this, but this is one of a kind, and that kind is going to be remembered forever. So I don't know, every professional who has passed comments on this incident, they have said, what the heck were they thinking? I mean, this is a textbook failure. Formation 1. This is what is taught to you on the ground before even getting into the cockpit, that if you don't see the lead aircraft, brake and go away. But these instructors, like thousands of hours, have committed this mistake. What can we say about the cadets like me, who has flown a few hours of formation, but even I know the basic principles. And that's why I give an example of Pakistan Air Force in the beginning as well. So good thing that all the pilots are safe, and we found another thing to learn, a schoolboy error, and that had costed about millions of dollars, about $300 million, just gone within 5 seconds. See you next time. Allah Hafiz.